Alright, next off from this Green Machine series is this Panasonic Performance Plus model MC-V6807 upright vacuum. I got this a few months ago from the thrift store for $10. And this was the condition it was in when I found it. Has all the attachments, which is rare for me. In addition, it came with the extension hose that I'm sure was bought separately from the vacuum store where this was purchased at. So, got two plastic ones and the bare floor tool. So the hose here is wire reinforced. So the only minor issue this machine has is that the hose clip here busted up, but it's still able to make a nice proper seal onto the machine. But other than that, the only major thing that this machine has is the handle release is broken. And last but not least, which is nothing at all, is the headlight is burnt out. So overall, it works for what it is. I think these are one of the coolest Panasonics that I've ever seen. It's got kind of a resemblance of both a Sharp Twin Energy and a Simplicity 7 Series mixed onto this. Just the way that they look and how the hose comes out and attachments being stored on board, and of course looped handle with the on and off switch on the handle. So anyways, yeah, I'm happy to have one of these. I am looking for another green one that I believe is called a MC-6915. That's got a different base. It doesn't say Performance Plus, and I believe it's 11 amps. At least the one I'm looking for is 11, because I've also seen one that has 10 amps as well. But anyways, that one is a childhood machine of mine. One of my neighbors has or had one of those before, and I used to go over there and vacuum for them, and that was one of the machines they had that I do enjoy using, because it's just such a fun machine to use. So, and of course that's more of a base model because it doesn't have the metal brush roll or bottom plate that this one has, and I'm sure you also have to take screws out of that one as well, whereas this one you just only take the two clips off. But yeah, but it does take a single belt inside. There's the inflow right there. It does have the vac gauge to where if the bag was full or this thing would be clogged, this opens up to release the valve to help cool down the motor from overheating. Does take the standard Panasonic type U bags, and this one does have the upgraded filtration on this, but everything else is pretty standard with the electrostatic filter underneath. Inside the motor housing case, and of course the motor suppressor that wraps around the motor. Overall, great machine. Being a Panasonic nerd and all, I mean, these are just such a joy. And that's why my username happens to be Panasonic Vac, because Panasonic, at least for vintage, they are my all-time favorite company. Still love Panasonic and will always be the favorite, but nowadays, if I had to pick a new modern favorite, I would say that SIBO would have that honor. So anyways, that being said, we'll go ahead and demonstrate this. One other thing I forgot to mention is that the cord's been replaced, so this has an aftermarket cord on. And I can't remember if I said this yet or not, but then the belt is worn out, so you will be hearing the brush roll rotating, but it's just it's going to stop when it's hitting this rug. But at least I'll go ahead and also show off the extension hose on this as well. So anyways, go ahead and flip this on. So in my previous video where I explained where I would have rather taken a Eureka Bravo over the Hoover Elite, and I also demonstrated the videos of my Elites, you can just see how they lift up the pile rugs. I stand behind of what I said, that for the price of the Elite, there are just better selections that you could have bought back in the day, and this happens to be one of them, because you saw how this was able, despite having hose on this side of the machine, it was still able to lift this pile rug up. So anyways, let's go ahead and show off the hose here. Even though I like that this can be used as an accessory hose on this machine, personally, I would prefer to plug the extension hose onto the end of the hose with an adapter on it, because at least on a lot of Panasonics that I've used, when you try to plug the hose in all the way, it would still have some kind of gap where suction would still come out of there and not give full performance on the end of the accessories. Not to mention, you can get an additional reach if you were to plug it in from behind there as well. But I still do like that you can open this up and unclog anything from out of there. So anyways, hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.